Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you, Chan Man V, for putting all that together. You know, the fact of the matter is, a lot of the video pieces that we've seen today are a lot of, like, specifically pre-produced, tiny, I'm thinking of the stop-motion video. Or not stop-motion, the fast-motion video from DreamHack.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, that is, like, such an accurate portrayal of what it's like to just play games with friends. That's like the, okay, we're actually going to be in the shoes of just being a guy who's playing StarCraft on a Friday night, and that was... I will say, the arcade has some of the most hilariously fun games ever.
Yeah, you got to remember that there's always the top games on the right side that everyone's probably familiar with because they're very, very popular. But there are so many games deep down in the arcade that you should definitely go check out. If you have any friends who have the game, go join some of those random games. And what I like to do, I like to call it arcade roulette, is just find a word and type it in.
Arcade roulette.
Just find a word and type it in. Like one time I typed in husky. And there was like this hilarious map that someone had made where you're escorting a pylon named Pylo through the map, and it moves at like 1 pixel speed. I don't think they really thought this out too well, but it was hilarious because it took like an hour and a half, but I thought it was hilarious. So
you know, actually that would be great. You go to Wikipedia, you do the random article search, and like the first noun you just look up in the arcade, and then you just play it.
You know, the next let's pretend that we clone Tasteless.
Okay,
because you remember the story about how he got his name, or so he says. He went to a dictionary, pointed to a word randomly, and it was the word tasteless. So that's what he went with.
Really?
That's what he has said. Is there an actual story?
Is that true? I mean,
I feel like that's what he said.
Nick and I thought long and hard about our ideas because I mean, when StarCraft came out, it was 1998, and let's see, I was born in '86, so I was 12.
Right.
I was a 12-year-old boy, and I was trying to figure out how to sound cool.
Okay.
So I had the ID Callisto for a while.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's a cool name, but someone told me that that's like a female god, and of course I didn't look it up. I just panicked and made a new name.
Okay.
Now the name that the ID that I finally settled on after a long time was Sleeping Drone.
Sleeping Drone. Okay.
I thought it sounded Korean.
It does.
And I wanted to be Korean.
And now it would have been, if you did it today, it would be the barcode name.
Yeah, I would just be all them L's and I's and caps and alternating, rotating, and all that jazz. But Nick spent a long time, and he had the ID Classless for a little while, and then he went to Tasteless.
I feel like I've been lied to my entire life, Sean.
He may have lied to everyone about that name.
I think so, and you just called him out.
He might be a duplicitous man.
But that builds up a great punchline that I wanted, that if we clone him, which is that's going to happen at some point, let's be honest. Since we're living in the new age, instead of using a dictionary, he could just go to Wikipedia and hit random article, and then that would be his new ID. It was funnier in my head, but...
No, I honestly think that this is something that a lot of people struggle with, because, I mean, especially I think it's really difficult. In Brood War, it was quite tough, because one of the best Terrans at one point in time was named The Marine. In all caps. Doesn't quite feel good. There's like a Zerg player named Zerg.
Yep. And then it's like... Toss Girl,
who plays Terran?
It's so confusing.
It made absolutely zero senses. Now, what I want to do is I actually want to come back to that Heart of the Swarm haiku setup that we had.
Yes.
I understand that many of you have been hard at work, tweeting away. I have my phone, and I've been reading some in the back room, and we're gonna read some out loud and kind of share some of our thoughts on those haikus. Again, the hashtag is #SwarmLaunch. Production, are we ready to look at some haikus? You know?
Production makes that face.
I'm expecting the Dragoon to just appear again and
go
just start
right into your mouth.
Across. You know, actually, I want to ask if you have the ability to come up with a haiku instantly on the fly.
No, I don't even know the rules, and also I was... All right, look, Sean. I took a poetry class in college, and they would read me a poem. And, like, what are your thoughts on this poem? And I'd be like, well, the poem is about peaches. And they're like, no, what do the peaches represent? They represent a delicious fruit. So I did not do so, like, see what I mean? I'm always logically thinking it's like, yeah. So our teacher one time showed us a poem and was like, okay, the assignment is to guess who wrote the poem. That was the assignment. So she gave us this poem, and it was like about the moon and the stars and her father's eyes and all this stuff. And I went to Google, of course, first response, and typed it in, and no response came up. So I was like, the teacher wrote it, because there's nothing There's no results anywhere on the internet. So I went to class, and they're talking about it for like 3 hours, or not 3 hours, like an hour. They're talking about different.
So this is a 3-hour class in
poetry
high
class.
school?
Oh,
Whoa.
ridiculous. So all the students were like, oh, this author wrote it because this represents this and this. And I was like, no, she wrote it. And I totally buzzkilled. So long story short, I'm really bad with poems.
But you own teachers.
I do. She did not like me after that. But I will say, you probably like poems, Sean. Could you do a haiku off the top of your head? Or you could just steal one from Twitter.
Is that scratching appearing on the...
I heard it. I mean, I hear it in my...
That's awesome. I hope that's getting out.
It should.
Let me give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay. I need you to give me a race.
A race?
Yeah, Zerg Terran Protoss.
Let's go with Zel Naga.
Okay, now the rules for haiku are 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables.
Did it have to rhyme or anything?
No, no rhyming. It's just about the syllables.
Okay.
So, all right. I just got word that the poems are loaded, but I'm going to try to come up with one right now. In StarCraft, the Zel Naga are very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play them.
Is that against the rules? Like to just drag it out across?
Let's go to Heart of the Swarm.
Okay.
The Swarm launched the actual haikus. Okay, this is great. This is from Varstar.
You take this one, Sean.
Ah, his haiku. Heart of the Swarm launch. Watching Husky and Day 9. Nerd chills all around.
Very well played, Varstar.
Now, while that's going on, I actually want to try to access one that I saw via the interwebs.
Have you told people what your phone looks like? Do people know the current state of your phone?
The screen's very busted. It's like the Spider-Man edition phone.
If you're wondering why he's holding it on his nose.
Yeah. So, Husky, do you have the second one loaded up?
If we do, I will. Okay, here we go from Pojo246. My heart lives in Swarm. The Overmind is no more. Queen of Blades in store. Get it? That has a double meaning because you can buy the game in a store, Sean. And the Queen of Blades is also...
Not for a few hours, though.
That is true.
All right. Let me get this one.
You had one. I heard you laughing on break about
I laughed very hard. All right. Okay. We're first going to read this next one from where he says, "Wings of Liberty. We've not a ghost of a chance. Kerrigan is here." And these are a little bit serious, but I gotta say, this is one that I am officially going to give a prize to.
Oh yeah?
It is here on my phone. From Row Burned. There's some numbers and letters and rotating caps. It's hard to read, but it says, Sarah Kerrigan, girlfriend on the loose again. Sucks to be Raynor.
I like that one.
Isn't that crisp?
It's good. It's true as well. I feel bad for the poor man.
It is brutal. So that does mean, Robrand, we want to be giving you one of those free graphics cards, but of course we want to give a graphics card to one of the 3 that were up on screen that we read out loud. So we have to make a decision.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. The one about the nerd chills all around.
I like that one.
I like that one. I was I thought there were going to be 3. There's actually 2 more. Let's actually go ahead and check.
I mean, we almost gave away the winner before the finalists were all shown. All right, Jimmy Juge. Heart of the Swarm rocks. No, literally, like rocks. Destructible rocks.
That's great. That actually is very deeply in line with the lore of the community.
Yeah.
About how rocks are really the central.
Are there any
design
fanfics about the rocks? There should be. And Dustin Browder. I mean, that's just a story waiting to happen.
I mean, given the amount of mechanics that rocks actually have in StarCraft 2, given that in real life they're an inanimate object,
right.
but they're foundational for strategy in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, in StarCraft they prevent you from bunker rushing.
Mm-hmm.
You can destroy them to open up new expansions.
You
can collapse them to close off expansions.
And to crush units.
And then you can re-kill those ones to reopen the expansion. What will they come up with next?
I honestly hope that like there's like a rock that just like spins around the map and just like pushes units out of the way.
I would love
It's like
that.
a big sweeper.
Don't give them ideas, because they will do it.
Dude, I hope so.
Dustin Browder is taking notes right now.
Someone, you know, I'm going to say this right now. I think that there are so much cool potential things to try with just standard 1v1 map design.
Yep.
Like, why isn't there a map where there's like a bridge, like in the middle, like 2 bridges, and every 2 minutes the bridges just lift, and then 2 minutes pass, and then they join again. So it sort of alternates whether you can cross or not. So there's these periods where you know an attack can't come, so you can power hard and build some extra units, and the bridges land, and you're like, all right, I'm ready for the attack.
And then there's construction on the bridge for like 12 hours.
Dude, no,
at one point.
not like LA style.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Literal traffic-filled roads, like actual like a map where the bases just like move.
I like that.
Like why that would be like there was so much cool stuff that was done in Brood War, and like the StarCraft 2 map editor is like way more powerful than the Brood War editor.
I still think one of my favorite things ever is when we had the ability to remove their minerals to the center of the map.
Oh,
I mean, why is that not
Trial of
competitive play?
Zelnaga.
It makes no sense.
You know, we have one more haiku we're going to look at. Let's go ahead and check that one out.
I want to read it, Sean. From L3 Rawler. Here's my Dark Templar ASCII art. There's nothing.
Here's my Dark Templar. Oh, ASCII art.
Here.
There's nothing.
Here's my.
That's actually, I think
Templar.
that's just 2 phrases.
ASCII art. I don't know. See, this is why I did so bad in poetry class.
I mean, it needs to have 17 syllables, so that one can't win. So we have 4 potentials, and we're
All
giving
right.
one to Robrand.
All right, I liked the rocks.
The rocks one,
it's
I
a
think,
good solid one, but I think the first one as well that we watched, that we saw, which was the.
Can we see that first one more time? I think we're going to be announcing a winner. I think it will be the grand prize from Varstar.
Although I can see the tweets already, they're just biased because their names are in it. And you know what?
Yes.
If we have the power, done. One and
Ladies
done.
and gentlemen, feel free to tweet us more. We'll throw you more free prizes. We're going to have some more video segments coming up. We're going to be stepping away to a very, very brief break, because when we come back, there will be more video action and an interview with the producer on StarCraft 2, Chris Siggety. So guys, stay tuned. I'm Day 9.
I'm Husky. We'll be back.